Most leaders, they don't plateau because of lack of performance. They plateau because they never shift their mindset from leading a team to leading a business. If you are delivering results, leading people, and still not being promoted to senior leadership positions like vice president, senior vice president, head of a market, head of a business, C-suite positions, then you are not alone. Most of the time, the reason is not your qualification or your experience. Being qualified is not enough. Being a great team leader is not enough either. If you are not seen as a business leader, you are not considered for the business decisions. In this video, I will break down 3 unspoken mindset shifts that separate team leaders from business leaders. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany Cheng. I became the vice president at 2 of the largest Swedish companies by market cap in my mid-30s. At the time, I was living abroad, raising a toddler and caring for my newborn baby girl. On this channel, we talk about exactly what it takes to break through middle management and get to senior executive roles so you can impact more, make more, and feel more fulfilled. Now, let's start from the first shift. It's a subtle one, but it quietly holds even the smartest, most capable leaders back from ever being seen as an executive material. That is, relationships matter more than roles. Not a long time ago, I was passed over for a vice president promotion when I was the global director. I was working remotely. Our company's headquarters had recently just moved from Belgium to Sweden, and because of my family situation, I wasn't able to relocate. So I stayed in the same role but worked virtually. Bear in mind, this was right before COVID. Remote working was not as common and popular as now. I was very often the only one on the call while the rest of our team gathered in person. And I started missing things, not the actual meetings, but everything around that actual meetings. For example, the quick chats right before the meeting started, and the conversations right after you walk out of the meeting rooms, and the insights exchanged at the coffee machine, the hallways, or over lunch. When you're remote, every interaction is structured, right? You log on, you start the agenda, and then everyone logs off. When I was working remotely and our executive team had moved to Sweden, I started to see the visibility gap. There was one moment I still remember till this day. Our team had been delivering under cost reductions, more workload added on us. We will work in long hours. Actually, we were even over-delivering. Then I find out there was 2 to 3 high-level briefing meetings with the president of our company. These meetings were 100% in my job scope, but we were not even invited. Not me, not my team, not a single person from my team. As I mentioned, the entire agenda was within our scope, but our contribution, our presence was just overlooked. So when I confronted my line manager, I'll never forget what he said. Oh, I didn't even think about it. I just invited the other colleagues who were here in the office. It wasn't political. It was just a default thinking. But to me, it felt like a gut punch. I was so disappointed, and I even felt shame in front of my team. That moment made something crystal clear to me. If you are not visible, you are not considered. It's not because they neglect you on purpose, but because decisions are often made quickly, informally, and by these busy decision makers who go with who they see. Since then, I changed how I traveled for large meetings, conferences. Before, I'd visit the headquarters for scheduled meetings and then I leave. But after this event, I extended my visits intentionally. And I reach out to leaders, align with peers, and make sure people saw me not just as a visitor, but as a strategic partner. Every trip became a strategic week, this time for my career. And if this resonates with your situation now, here's what I would tell you. Don't rely on formal channels to prove your value, like formal meetings. You want to show up where the influence lives. Don't just attend meetings, shape them, extend them, and use them to rebuild relationships. Don't just travel for the task, for the meeting, for the project, for who you have already scheduled to meet. You want to travel to connect. But even when you are visible, even when you are showing up and building the right relationship, there's still something that most leaders miss, because it's not just where you show up, it's also about how you show up. That brings us to the second mindset shift, and this one will change how you are seen when no one tells you they are watching. That is when you are being evaluated when you least expect it. A question to you: when does your executive team actually decide who's ready for a promotion? Well, the answer is it's not during the formal talent review or succession plan. And it's almost never based only on KPIs. In most companies, the real evaluation happens in informal moments. Let me put this into a concrete perspective. Let's say you are a quality director and there is a product strategy meeting. Now, the senior vice president of operations turns to the team and say, we should have someone from the quality team in the room. Who should we invite? If your name gets brought up because you are just the best quality person, that's good. But if you are brought in because you always bring a sharp perspective we need at the table, that's leadership. That's your differentiator. There's a shift from being seen as a functional representative to a strategic contributor. For a quality director, that means you want to show up in commercial, product, or operations conversations with more than just your lens as a quality person. What does that mean? That means you want to ask how decisions impact long-term margin or brand risk. You want to suggest ways to embed quality into product lifecycle planning, not just post-launch compliance. You want to offer ideas that improve customer satisfaction and retention, not just defect reduction. When you do this consistently, your peers stop seeing you as just the quality person and start seeing you as a cross-functional leader. Once you understand the promotion criteria are different at the executive level, there's one more shift that truly unlocks your influence and future potential. And that is the game has changed. So the rule to play the game has changed. When I was appointed to my first vice president role, there was no interview, no formal process. I wasn't one of several candidates. I was the only candidate because by that point, the decision had already been made, long before a job description was even written. This is when I realized everyone who is equally good, who are shortlisted, their performance is taken for granted. Everyone whose name comes up in a promotion conversation, whether it's a shortlist or a succession plan, has already delivered enough results. So delivering, performing, they are not the differentiator anymore. It's the baseline. Because this is not about doing more or doing better at your current job. And yes, that mentality probably got you to where you are today, to the middle management, to a director, a team leader, or even a senior director, because you are consistent, you exceed expectations, you are trusted, you always deliver. But here's the truth that I have to learn the hard way. I used to think if I just keep outperforming, prove that I could do more by taking more project responsibilities and exceed expectations, and I will earn the next level through my performance and the results I've delivered. But at executive level, vice president, senior vice president, the C-suites, general manager positions, they are not promotions and roles in the sense of doing more and more. They are a shift in identity. They are not looking for someone who can do more. They are looking for someone who can lead differently with a wider lens, longer horizon, and enterprise thinking. At that level, the question changes from how great are you at your job to are you ready to take responsibilities for things you don't control directly? Can you influence business outcomes through others across silos under ambiguity? And here's what's important. No one will say this out loud in performance reviews, but it shows up behind closed doors in how people talk about you, how confident they are in putting your name forward, and how ready they believe you are in carrying business risk, not just team performance. If you are ready to go from leading a team to leading a business, and you are serious about stepping into VP, SVP, or general manager roles, I invite you to book a free strategy call with me or someone from my team. You will speak with a real person who has climbed corporate ranks themselves, someone who understands exactly what it takes to make this leap. On the call, we will talk about your current situation, your goals, and we will also evaluate whether what we do is the right fit to help you reach your next executive role. Yes, there is a pre-qualifying process, so if we feel there's alignment, we will move forward with this call. And spots are limited, so if you are ready to lead at the next level, you want to click the link in the description below and book your call today. Now I'll leave you with this video to find out why being in the succession plan will not guarantee your promotion. I'll see you there.